excited to introduce our esteemed speakers, Tracy Huckel, GoGreen Financing Marketing Specialist for the California State Treasurer's Office, and Zachary Girth, GoGreen Financing Team, California Coast Credit Union. And with that, Tracy and Zachary, take it away.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Will. And thank you to everybody who came out today and carved time out of your busy day to be here and learn about this exciting offering. And also, wow, congratulations, CalCoast, 95 years. That's pretty amazing. We were just chatting about that a little bit earlier. Pretty neat. So yes, as Will explained, I am here to let you know about GoGreen Financing. We are a program in the State Treasurer's Office, and we are pleased to offer excellent financing for solar and battery storage and all kinds of other energy efficiency upgrades. And we're very pleased to be partnered with CalCoast in this endeavor. So let me try to maybe answer some questions that you may already have. Of course, you can also drop some in the chat or in the Q&A box as well. So what is GoGreen Financing? We exist to bring energy upgrades to Californians by making them affordable and by helping to offset the risk to lenders so that they can offer excellent interest rates and terms on energy efficiency financing. We were authorized by the CPUC, and I'd like to just actually kind of point out this term here, facilitate excellent rates and terms. Our role here, just so it's very clear, this is not in any way kind of like a loan from the state of California. These are loans from our credit unions, our partner credit unions, such as CalCoast, and our job is to provide something similar to a loan guarantee program. Similar, not exactly, but close to that. We have programs for home, small business, and multifamily, and we cover financing for all kinds of upgrades: solar panels and battery storage, heat pumps, cool roofs, insulation, windows. You can even get sort of eaves for your windows to kind of shade them that way. We have all kinds of interesting kinds of measures that we finance. All right, let's just go over some of the program basics. The property needs to, in order to be eligible, property needs to receive service from one of the IOUs, investor-owned utilities. So that's Edison in your neighborhood there, Edison, San Diego Gas Electric, or SoCal Gas. All types of single-family dwellings can qualify. Max finance amounts go up to $50,000, or if you're working on solar and storage, $75,000, because some of those arrays need to get pretty big in order to handle the loads. And the upgrade does need to be installed by a participating GoGreen home contractor, and I'll walk you quickly through what that might look like. Broad range of credit scores is available through our program, and down below are just some of the stats we like to trot out whenever we can. We've helped 6,500 California households make energy upgrades, and CalCoast, as one of our oldest and most active lenders, has done a whole lot of those, thousands of them. So props to CalCoast for helping so many households in that way. And we do have a network of 1,100 enrolled contractors all around the state. So you shouldn't have a problem finding somebody who can help you with your GoGreen home project. Okay, so this is another kind of braggy screen that we like to show off. GoGreen Home offers much lower interest rates than you would find otherwise on the market. Our loans, it should be noted, are unsecured, right? They're not secured by a property lien of any kind. So if you all remember the PACE program, there was maybe some There was some not so great publicity around that. Some bad things happened, a few bad actors, where people were putting liens on Paceworks by putting a lien on the home. We don't do that. We're completely unsecured loans. So there's no risk there. There's no exposure there for the homeowner. No prepayment penalty. And again, some of the basics are listed there to the left. And of course, CalCoast offers great interest rates. And we'll get into that a little bit later too. But overall, GoGreen Home does, we have 9 lenders, right? So when we look at all of the average interest rates over the years since our program has existed, the average interest rate has been 4.2% for loans, and that's for a 60-month loan, because we needed to have something to compare to for market rate loans. Without GoGreen Home, those rates average 10.2%. So that's a savings of 6 whole percentage points. It's a pretty significant savings. We're very proud to be able to support lenders in offering these kinds of very fine rates. And of course, that translates to a big difference in cumulative interest. So you can see there in the chart to the right, that's like $2,400 over the course of the loan that a person saves by going through GoGreen Home. Okay, so what might that actually look like? A borrower with a credit score of 600 looking for $15,000. And if we're going to be comparing unsecured loans, let's take a look at what the market rate would be offering unsecured personal loan for a credit score of 600. That would be a pretty high interest rate, pretty hefty. And the term length would probably max out at 5 years, resulting in a substantial monthly payment, $400. With GoGreen Home, there's a lower interest rate for one thing, but there's also an extended term. And as we know, that equals lower monthly payments. So that's a $130 monthly payment. So somebody who's in a jam, but doesn't have a whole lot of cash laying around can take advantage of those extended terms through GoGreen Home and, and be covered and be provided with, heat or hot water or whatever it may be at an affordable price. So what can be financed? Well, these are sort of the greatest hits of energy efficiency, which is kind of our legacy product. That's what we have offered since 2016. And we still do, and we're very proud to. Heat pump HVACs, all kinds of high efficiency HVACs, water heaters of all types, insulation in windows, cool roofs. You can see all of the stars there. And 30% of the loan can be for unrelated improvements. That can go for things like remodeling and landscaping. It's got to be something that's affixed to the property. It can't just be like, cash and a fun weekend somewhere. But another thing about the financing is that in the 70%, right? If you think of the 30% as sort of the, I don't know, your landscape project, in the 70%, that can also include and will include any kinds of necessary upgrades you need to make. So like if you need to make a panel upgrade to your electrical panel, that can be covered. If you need to do a little bit of roof repair, minor roof repair in order to put some solar panels on there, that can be covered. So, and now this is the part that we're really excited to offer solar and storage now. This just became available in June, so just a couple of months ago. Clean energy measures. So we're talking about rooftop solar and battery storage and EV chargers, all brand new measures that can now be financed through GoGreen Home. People always used to ask, oh, energy efficiency, that means like solar panels, right? And we would have to say, well, no, not really. But now they're included, and it's great. So there are a couple of, we are the state, so of course we do have some rules. Our rooftop solar must be paired with battery storage. The reason for that is that California has a lot of solar panels. What we need is to harness that sunshine and use it later in the evening when everybody's running their washing machine and their dishwasher. So that's where battery storage comes in. We support that policy. We think it's really important. It's also going to help you as a as the homeowner, as the owner of these systems, to really make the most of the time of use rates, because your system will be kind of selling or shipping power onto the grid right when everyone else needs it most. And that means your payback amount will be higher. So it all kind of pencils out. Battery storage, you can buy a battery, but you must have existing solar. If you're not pairing it with brand new solar, you must have existing solar for that battery to go with. We're not financing the simple purchase of a Tesla Powerwall or whatever just to pull energy off of the grid in the normal way. It's got to be with solar. And then we have EV chargers, of course, and those need to be connected to Wi-Fi so that they're smart. So here's some of the common reasons somebody would want to get in on this: generate and store your own power. There's just a level of energy independence and self-sufficiency in that's attractive to a lot of people. And of course, that means savings on your energy bill too. And I think a really important piece of this is kind of preparing for the future, kind of future-proofing your home. For one thing, new cars sold in California, they're all going to be zero emissions by 2035. We're seeing lots and lots of EV cars on the market. And I think we're seeing, all electric homes are kind of the wave of the future. So these kinds of clean energy upgrades are currently available through GoGreen Home to customers who receive electricity from one of the IOUs. So San Diego Gas and Electric or Edison, where you are. Now, in October, so it's not very far away, right? In October, certainly by November, so it could be late October, this will also be available to customers in LADWP, Anaheim, Riverside, and some of the other public utilities. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind as you're looking at the timing of these things. I kind of wanted to bring this to bring this out because we've had the pleasure, my colleague Christy and I, Christy's helping to answer questions and standing by, very knowledgeable. We've had the pleasure of telling contractors about this program, and they practically swoon. I mean, they just love this. They love the sound of it. They want to do right by their customers, but the situation with solar financing has been, I mean, it's expensive, right? I mean, it's a business, and there are a lot of people making a lot of money off of it. So a lot of solar financing outfits are sort of claiming 0% or 1 or 2 or 3% financing, but what is not so visible are the fees that they are tacking on. And these fees they've gotten quite high. They can be up to 30%. That's not unusual. It's not uncommon. Those fees land on the contractor. Contractor turns around and passes it on to you. So you're kind of needlessly paying for this extra portion of, profit, essentially. That's not the case here. There are 0 dealer fees. There are no hidden costs, fixed interest rates, no penalty for prepayment. We're largely because we're the state, and CalCoast is a very respectable and trustworthy organization. We're very transparent with this financing, and so contractors are responding very, very positively to it, because I think it's very refreshing in this marketplace, in the market, the solar and storage financing market. So yeah, we're very proud to be able to offer this kind of financing at this time. I wanted to touch on rebates and incentives. Now, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I am familiar with the landscape. So I wanted to share what I know, with the caveat that some things haven't been finalized, and it's very hard to I understand and I feel for people who are trying to figure out how to maximize their savings here. It's tricky. You're going to have to really sit down and do some figuring, but we have a couple of resources that should help. So let's go over rebates first. And first of all, let me just preface this by saying there's never been a better time, I think, to look into doing some of these kinds of upgrades to your home. The state of California and the federal government are very keen to get people's households, to get homes onto clean energy sources and operating as efficiently as possible. There's a major push toward electrification in particular. You've probably seen this around, all the talk about heat pumps and so forth. And so they're backing this up with rebates and tax incentives. So let's take a look at it. A couple of the rebates that are available now, $1,000 for a heat pump HVAC. That's offered through Tech Clean California. $900 for heat pump water heaters. There are a few others out there, a couple of $100 here, a couple $100 there. And they kind of add up. They're probably not game-changing sums for somebody, but coming up next year, there are going to be some new rebates coming out. The Inflation Reduction Act, which y'all may recall from a couple of years ago, came with, I think it was $8 billion for rebates. And that was given to the states. And the states are rolling out these systems as they can. California hasn't done, we haven't done ours yet. That's not my personal project. It's not even happening in our office, but California hasn't quite finalized its offerings yet. So 2025 is all we know. So these figures are kind of typical. They are the template. Again, we don't know exactly what California is going to offer, but I think it would look something like this. So first of all, these Inflation Reduction Act rebates with these higher numbers for heat pumps, electric panels, and weatherization, these are available for households with income that is 150% or less of area median income, okay? Area median income, this is a link that goes to like a sheet that has a table. So you can look up your county. It's pretty interesting, actually. I just took a gander, and for San Diego County, household of 4, 150% of area median income is like 179 in San Diego County, 179K. In Riverside, it's like 145K. So if your household income falls below that, right, that or below, you would be eligible for kind of the lower numbers there, right? Like the $4,000 rebate for the heat pump, the $2,000 for electrical panel, etc. If your household income is 80% of area median income, you could qualify for those higher figures, the 8,000, the 4,000, the 1,600. So this is one of the ways the federal government is trying to, help low and moderate income Californians and Americans, get her done. A very important resource for you to keep in mind is the switcheson.org. They are going to have up-to-date incentives as soon as those Inflation Reduction Act rebates hit the market. They're going to be listed on Switches On. And Switches On, it's kind of neat. You can go on there and you put in your zip code and it tells you everything that you're kind of qualified for. All right, let's go to tax incentives here again. Boy, these are a lot, but I think they can be very good. First of all, with tax incentives, of course, here's the deal with a tax credit. It does you no good if you don't have tax exposure, right? So you need to have some amount that you would be owing to the government in order to have a credit to offset it, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So I think these tax incentives are very good. I think they require a little bit of planning, and it might be something to talk to your accountant about. And I think your more knowledgeable contractors will know about this too. There are two basic groups of tax incentives. One is the 25C, and that's kind of for energy efficiency. It's for things that go inside the house. Heat pump water heaters. There's a little bit for weatherization. This also, rentals are okay here. Primary and secondary residences, they're all okay. And what these tax credits are for is for 30% of the cost, up to $2,000 for the heat pumps and the heat pump water heaters. And then the total is capped, right? $3,200 a year. However, you can break up your projects and you can go back year after year. So you can plan it out. Again, here's where all that planning is going to come into play. And then this other general category of tax credits is the 25D, and that's for the distributed energy, excuse me. And that's really kind of encouraging the solar and battery storage and so forth. Now, these are for homes where you live, where you spend most of your time, right? It's not for your rentals or something. And it's a tax credit, 30% of the cost of your rooftop solar and battery storage system or your solar water heating system. And it's uncapped. So that's great. But remember that you can only get back, or you're not even really getting back. It's just that you don't have to pay what you would have otherwise owed. But those two things have to even out in an agreeable way. So if if 30% of your system is 10,000, but you only owe 7,000, you're not going to get that remaining 300. Now your 7,000 will be sort of like canceled out, right? But that 3,000 won't like show up as a check in your mailbox or anything like that. So planning. And your friendly resource here is rewiringamerica.org. They have lots of really, really good information on there. Okay, so I thought I'd give an example just to show like what a kind of a special time this is. I will let's see here. Well, let me just summarize kind of what this imaginary project is. It's a rooftop solar and storage project with a heat pump HVAC and a little bit of an electrical panel upgrade. And your household, this is for a household with a tax liability of $10,000, credit score 700, and hoping for a term length of 10 years. So as you can see here, the total without rebates or incentives, just above the red numbers, is 51,000. That would be the bill, right? That would be the financed amount for all of those upgrades. But let's apply a tech heat pump rebate, and so I'm going to say, I'll preface this. Let's I'm imagining this scenario is for somebody who is very responsible and very dutifully having set aside probably cash for this tax liability that this homeowner knows is coming up, right? So that money is available to that homeowner. They're just not spending it. They're leaving it there for April 15th, and then they ship it off, you know, wave a hanky, goodbye, hard-earned money. So in this case, right, this person would be able to, planning ahead, take that money and put it toward this project, right? And this is kind of how it could break down. So this is the tax credit for the heat pump water heater in the panel, or the heat pump in the panel. And this is a tax credit for the solar and storage, because now it was going to be 10,000, 10.5, but the customer only had 10K in liability and 2,600 of that is claimed. So 7,400 it is. Even so, the total finance with rebates and incentives, 40 grand. I mean, it's quite a savings. It's $11,000 savings, and the monthly payment, $472. And that's going through GoGreen Home, 7.38%. I believe that's CalCoast's rate, or was a few weeks ago. So it's a very fine rate for that kind of an unsecured loan. All right, last thing, I am long-winded here. I just want to do one last thing, and that's kind of show you a little bit about our website, just a couple things you may want to know how to do. Okay, so our website is gogreenfinancing.com. And one thing you might want to do, you come over here to residential, right? And you come over here and you check out explore project possibilities. And this is where you can kind of get a sense of what you might want to do, right? And you can learn a few things that you might need: bundled solar and battery storage for pre-existing solar, and so forth. Gosh, maybe you want to do some insulation. Okay? And you can learn a little bit about all the different types of insulation that are eligible here. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is find a participating contractor. So I'm going to do this, and I do not have right offhand a San Diego area zip code. So I'm going to do excuse me, I'm going to do my own 95816. And I'm going to say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this. Solar and battery storage. And I'm going to come up with 53 enrolled contractors who serve my area. And I'm going to connect with one of them and get an estimate, and then take that to CalCoast. And away I go, and life is going to be better. So just wanted to show you that. Thank you for your patience. You may be falling asleep for all I know. I would never know. But you know, thank you again to CalCoast for having us. And if you have any questions, please reach out or drop them in the chat right now. If you have other bigger questions, you can reach out or visit gogreenfinancing.com. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to Zach.
Hello, everybody. My name is Zachary. I'm one of the administrators here at California Coast Credit Union who works with the GoGreen program. And today we're just going to bring you through a couple little slides showing our process once we receive an application and what you can and how you can apply as well. Okay, let me bring this up. Okay. So first off, just a couple of general points I wanted to make clear is that we've been participating in the GoGreen program for over 5 years at this point, and it's steadily expanded over that time, and we're continuing to expand both our team and our offerings as much as we're able to. We definitely enjoy this program. It's worked very, very well for us throughout the ups and downs of the last 5 years, and we're really excited to look to the future to see what they're able to offer. We have over 1,100 energy contractors in the program, and we're also able to provide service throughout the entire state of California. Okay, so in the chat, we're going to provide our quick start guide. This has a lot of our general information in regarding the terms, the rates, it kind of covers a little bit of the questions in terms of the frequently asked questions. So our first step in applying would be to either go to our website, or you're more than welcome able to call our member service center. We also are able to accept obligations through branches as well. Another note that we want to make clear is that we do have a dedicated team for the GoGreen program here at California Coast. So all of the applications are handled exclusively by our team here. Okay, so we just wanted to bring you through a quick overview of how applications are processed from beginning to end. So first, we receive the application. We will make contact with you either by email or through phone, just to confirm that both your property, the contractor, and the project are eligible. We will then request the income documentation that may be different from your particular income sources. We also provide an authorization form for you to sign. This just allows us to contact your contractor and speak to them on your behalf. So along this time, you may be contacted by your contractor to provide them certain documentation that is required of the GoGreen program. The contractors now handle this documentation. These documents include the utility bills for the electrical utility and the gas utility, as well as another privacy form in regards to the GoGreen program. So your contractor will then enter that information into the GoGreen portal. So once we have the income review cleared and the portal information all cleared and approved by the GoGreen program, we will give you, the contractor and the program, the green light to start the work. Once that work is completed, the portal would then notify us. We would then reach out to you to confirm all the loan details. And once we get the confirmation back, we would then provide you the loan documents. Once the loan documents are signed, we would then send the funding check to the contractor via FedEx overnight. So that's a quick overview of how the application process works. So if you have any questions regarding that, you're more than welcome to put them in the chat and we can help you out with that. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it back over to Will.
Zach and Tracy, thank you so much. That was a lot of great information. Now, just a reminder, everybody, if you have a question, please utilize the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. But first, I'd like to introduce Andres de la Mora, Business Development Manager, to share a few words.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining the webinar. If you have any questions regarding any of our other products or services, if anything piques your interest, like credit cards, certificates, auto loans, things like that, I'm going to put an email address that you can email us, and one of our business development officers will happily reach out to you if you have any questions or interest in any of the additional products that we offer. But thanks again for joining the webinar.
Thank you, Andres. Okay, Tracy and CalCoast teams, we have some questions that came through the Q&A. Here's the first question. Can I use the loan program for purchasing the solar if I'm buying new construction home from, say, Lennar in Riverside County?
Okay, I'll take that. No, the GoGreen loans are for upgrading your residence that you already have. It is not for new construction. So new construction would not work.
Great, thanks, Ray. Another question in regards to the contractors. Will the contractors have the same pricing, or do we need to get a different quote? Who has the best pricing?
Um, I'll, I'll take that. I- the contractors are setting their own, they're giving you their own quotes, their own estimates of what they think it would take to do the work. So I'm not sure if you're thinking that our program sets those prices, but we do not. If that helps.
So basically do your work research or get more than one bid on a project, as you would if you weren't going through the GoGreen. But they all need to be on that preferred list or approved list of contractors. Okay, another question that came through. If I will be adding solar panels to an existing solar panel system, this is my second solar panel addition. Can I still claim the 30% 25D tax credit for it?
Oh, Eloy, I'm sorry, I do not have the answer to that. I don't know. This is where my non-expert uh non-expert status comes in.
So maybe they need to contact a tax professional in regards to that.
That's what I would do. And your solar contractor may know this too. Like it would be in their interest to know this.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Has GoGreen ever been affiliated with the Y-Green program?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Here's another question that came through. Can an existing loan for solar be refinanced using the GoGreen?
No, this is for new projects only. It's not for refinance. So we would not be able to refinance something if you already have existing solar loan.
Okay, excellent. Question is, if CalCoast pays the contractor directly, how do you get the other 30% that can be used for remodeling?
Yeah, so what happens is you have to work with the contractor to get the contractor to put that 30% information into the portal. Then the whole amount gets approved. And then when the project is finished with the GoGreen contractor, we get that information and we send one check to the contractor for the work that they've done. And for the 30%, we send you a check or put it in your CalCoast account, whichever you prefer.
Excellent. Thanks, Ray. Question is, if I need roof work done at the same time as getting solar, would that be eligible to be bundled into the loan?
A new roof would be acceptable to bundle with solar. The maximum amount you would be able to borrow if you're doing the solar with the storage with the roof is $75,000 if you qualify for that. And the roof does have to be rated as a cool roof for that to work.
Okay. Someone's asking about a solar lease. If they already have a solar lease and they want to add additional battery walls, can this be done on this program?
I think, I'm gonna say yes, because as long as the solar is interconnected, if there's an existing solar, it doesn't have to be owned by the homeowner, is what I'm saying, in order for you to be able to finance a battery through GoGreen Home.
So you can finance a battery only without the solar?
Yes, no, I'm sorry. You can finance a battery without also purchasing new solar, but you have to have proof that you have solar,
Okay.
right? So the battery needs to be working in a complementary fashion with a solar system, whether it's a brand new one that you're financing through us or one that was already there.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Tracy.
Mhm.
Now a question in regards to if you sell your house, what happens if you sell your house? Does this need to be paid before closing, or can funds come out after the sale?
Yeah, this is just a personal loan that you get with the credit union. So it's not tied to your property. I had this question a couple days ago from someone, and I let them know that they would still be responsible for the loan, but they would pay it off with some of the loan proceeds that they get from their sale, or continue to make payments on the loan, whichever they prefer. But yes, you would still be required to pay the loan. And it does not have to be done before the sale. It's not tied to your property.
Okay. Okay. Question is, I'm going through Tesla directly for battery backup. I don't see them in the approved contractor list. Is that correct? That directly with Tesla is not approved?
I believe that is correct. I know they sell batteries, but they have to come from a contractor that's part of the GoGreen program.
Okay.
Right.
Now, is there a website that shows the ratings of vendors based on customer experience?
We do not have ratings on our website, so it would be a matter of doing your research and due diligence, looking on, Yelp and Angie's List and so forth.
Okay, a lot of tax questions here. I imagine you might not be able to answer those. One's in regards to if you on the 25D 30% tax credit, can any unused credits be carried over?
Jane, it's my understanding that no, they cannot. I did read that for sure. They do spell that out, unfortunately.
Okay. Now, what about second homes? Can they use the GoGreen program for a second home that they own? It's used by family. It's not a rental, but they want to use it for solar and roof replacement.
Yes, we can do second homes. We can also do investment properties.
Perfect. There was another question. Someone mentioned cool roof. What is a cool roof?
I am not a contractor, so I don't know all of the specifics, but it's made of special material that helps reflect the sun's rays. So it helps keep the house cooler during the summertime.
Okay. So then staying with the roof, if the roof where the panels will be installed needs repair, but it's a carport roof and separate from the main house, does it have to be a cool roof to be part of the 30% renovation?
No, if the roof needs to be repaired so the solar can be installed, then that can be all included into the cost of the solar. The only time the roof is different is when it's like a complete re-roof.
Okay. Now, question about the utility company. What occurs if the utility changes their fee structure for solar owners?
Your loan is with California Coast Credit Union, so that doesn't really affect the loan that is taken out.
Okay. We have a question here that's a current member. I received a CalCoast loan in 2023 for ground-mounted solar and a Tesla battery with minor electrical panel upgrade. It was a $60,000 project. They were not offered the GoGreen financing and did not get financing without realizing from GoGreen.
Oh, Patricia, we just announced the ability to finance solar in June of 2024, so just a couple of months ago.
Okay, great. Question is, why isn't Tesla on the list of approved contractors?
I think they probably haven't applied. It's not, I'm wondering if there's any confusion between Tesla as a manufacturer, because it, it's the contractor, the person who's doing the installation, who's gonna hook the battery into the grid and into your solar system, et cetera. That's the person who needs to be affiliated with GoGreen Home. So I can, maybe Tesla has its own installer network. I'm not quite sure, but they haven't applied.
Excellent, thank you. I just wanted to remind everybody that we are recording this session, so we will be uploading it to our YouTube channel. You will be getting a link where to access that. It should be uploaded within 24 to 48 hours, so keep an eye out for that link. As far as the presentation decks for the state of California and for Cal Coast, will those be available to our attendees?
Yes, I'm happy to share. Yes.
Okay, so if our attendees would like to email me, I'll put my email in the chat. And Tracy, if you can send me your presentation, and Zach, send me your presentation. And if anybody would like those slide decks, I'd be happy to send those off to you. I'm going to put my email in the chat for that. And just want to say thank you to our speakers today. We had a lot of great information. We can go on this all day. One last question though, and I think it's really relevant to the topic here, is about pool solar. Is that covered? Solar related to pool, or any efficiencies related to a pool?
Yes, it tends to be around pool pumps and pool covers. Those kinds of things can be financed. I don't know about solar for pool. I'm not quite sure. See if one of my colleagues has something about this, can say something about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It just, sorry, I can't add in on the pool question, but there is a question that's been in the chat for a little bit, and it's just, is it best to start the project next year to best take advantage of the state incentives?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what it is that you're looking at doing. But I think that would be my plan. I would, if I thought I was going to qualify for those Inflation Reduction Act rebates, that's what I would do. I would first kind of check that that link to see about the income, because that I don't know if you recall, that one was an income restricted, right? 150% of area median income. I would first check to see that I was going to fall within the applicable range, and then I would make my decision. But yes, if I did, I would wait.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us, and take care. We'll see you next month.